rusty wheels and knew I'd take her home. I brought her to my farm in an Amish neighborhood where simple living's valued. She'd be loved and understood. I put her on a treadle stand and coaxed her wheel to turn. I felt her joy and easing with my study and concern. I cleaned her and I oiled her, showed her off to all my friends, repaired the hurts of years and let her sew again.
Hello and welcome back. So this is the 201. She has been stripped. She has been cleaned. I have her masked, and I just wanted to give you a quick look. Basically, everything that is not plugged up or filled over is going to get painted. Okay, so she is iron. Her wheel feels iron. Feels like polished iron on the sides. Maybe some steel. I don't know. This feels aluminum-ish, but maybe not. This is definitely aluminum. These feel like steel plate, maybe? I don't know. And this is iron. And just to make my life easier, I am going to use a self-etching primer because that works great on aluminum, and the polished steel plating, like for the little gear covers and everything. And I'm going to use it for everything. It sounds like I need to get another can out. So that's how I'm going to start it. Oh, here's my other can. Got two different brands, but they're going to do the same thing. So let me give it first a good coating of that. What I have done is, after I stripped it, then I washed it, then I, did some detail cleaning on it. Then I've masked it. And then I came back with a clean microfiber cloth and my pre-paint degreaser wax remover solution. Wiped everything down. And now I'm ready to paint. So give me a few minutes to suit up. And I'm going to put a really good coat of this on. Okay, so the primer is on. Basically, I used what was left in that one little can for a couple of the smaller pieces, and then opened up the new Rust-Oleum can for these. The Rust-Oleum, personally, I think it comes out better. It's a darker colored primer. I don't know if one adheres better than the other, but, it works fabulous. So I'm going to give this about 10 minutes to dry, and then I'm going to come back with a coat of Peaceful Blue. So this is the Peaceful Blue color. It is lovely. And I am still debating if I'm going to pearl over it or not. At this point, I don't think I am, but I will have to wait and see what it looks like once I have it on the machine, and then I'll make that judgment call. Okay, so the primer is dry, and I just came in with a clean microfiber, wiped everything down, and to me, the paint is fresh enough that completely smooths it. So, where did I put it? Hang on a sec. Got my cloth over here. So like say, I can just smooth around those little plugs. But if I wipe down, you can feel if something is rough or if it's smooth. And this feels very smooth to me. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the first coat of my Peaceful Blue. Okay, so I want to show you, I have two coats of the blue enamel on. And at this point, this looks pretty good to me. I don't think I'm going to be putting pearl on because I'm going to be going with Angry Bluebirds on this machine. And I want the blue to be kind of reminiscent of a blue sky, not a deep blue sky, but a peaceful blue sky. So I think I'm just going to leave these two coats to dry very fully. I want to show you one thing that happened that was really odd. Not sure why. Take a look at the back of that. I hit it with the first coat and those little droplets just appeared. Now that is the back of this plate. If I flip it around, hopefully you can see the front looks perfect. It's just that back that's messed up. I am going to be needing to paint the motor housing parts once I get those back. And so when I do that, I can redo the back of this, but for right now, the front looks good, so I'm just gonna let that dry. We've got the gear covers and the light fixture looks great. So yeah, that's what it is right now. I'm gonna step away from here because it's hot and humid, and I have my garb on that makes it even more sweaty in here. But I'm gonna leave this to dry for a couple days before I move anything. Okay, so welcome back. It's actually been quite a while since I've worked on this machine. I did send the motor off to Bob, and he disassembled it, sent it back, and if you can see, I have a new back of the motor housing. My old one was very dented, so that's going to get a little decal on it. And because it's been a while since I worked on this, I've got my glass cleaner, a clean cloth here, and just wiped everything down. The look that we're going to be going for here is the Mad Bluebird and the butterflies. And I'm going to be using, what is his name again? Michael L. Smith. I have the Mad Bluebird cup. But this image was from 1979. It was very popular, so I want to make sure I give him credit. But we're going to be putting the Mad Bluebird itself here in the middle, okay? And then it's just going to be some purple flowers and butterflies around. I'm going to try to restrain myself and not overdo it. I had a lot of people say less is more, so I'll try to restrain myself from overdoing it. But I've got my decals cut out over there, as you can see, purple with butterflies. Here's this. I don't have my tripod here handy, so I'm going to have to turn you off. But I'm going to be putting them on just like I usually do. I've got my water with a little bit of soap, and I had to use my pressurized hose to fill it up, so that's why it looks very bubbly. But trust me, it's just one little drop of dish soap in there. So let me go ahead and get started putting these on, and I'll show you a few progress photos. Okay, so a couple things. First of all, there's a slight defect in the casting right there, but the decal of the wing, I know you can't tell that it's very slight, but visually the decal kind of blends with that little defect in the casting. So I think that we're going to be good there. And I also wanted to mention, because I don't remember if I said it before, the paint that I used for this was actually a satin. I couldn't find this color in a gloss. So because it was a satin, I did a coat of diamond coat, clear coat over it, just a single coat, just to give it a shine, because the decals are going to go onto a gloss much, much better than on a satin. The satin's going to give me all kinds of issues. So anyhow, now back here, I do have this on up to this point. I think that that's going to be good. This does have a potted motor, so the motor itself is a big housing that's going to kind of be like right that. So I think that this is going to be visible. I'm not really going to be doing anything big back here. At least I don't think so. I might put the name of it on there, but that might be about it. I'm going to put another flower up here, some down here. This is where the medallion's going to go, so I want something to kind of frame that medallion. And I want to show you, this is the back of that motor housing. Okay, so when you look at it straight on, it's going to look like that. Hope you can see. It's very dark and rainy outside right now, but we need the rain, so I'm not going to complain. So that's where I am right now. Okay, I'm going to call it good. We are going more minimal this time. So it is blue flowers and butterflies on the column, and my little angry bluebird down here on the base. So then when I turn her around on this side, I just have some more blue flowers on the column with more butterflies. Nothing too dramatic. I really want to put something there though. We'll see, we'll see. But I'm not going to put anything here. The light fixture that's going to go on there, I do have the name, Singer 201-2. That's going to be going on there. And that is the same color as the little bluebird breast and the butterfly and everything, so that should go well. And I already showed you this. I'm not putting anything on here. I'm trying really hard to restrain myself, so I think we're just gonna call that good. So I'm gonna need to let these decals dry overnight, and then I will clear coat this machine in the morning. Okay, good morning. It's the next day, so I wanted to show you, this is the clear coat, and I've actually already put it on. So I use Finish 1. It's a Sherwin-Williams paint. It's a 4-to-1 ratio, so 4 parts of this to 1 part of hardener. And so I usually mix up about 2 ounces of this to 1/2 ounce of this. I went a little bit more today because there are so many parts for a 201 to paint. So I want to take you in and show you what they look like after the main coat. I got a really good coat on most of the pieces, so I might only put 1 coat on a lot of it. Okay, so here is the machine. If you can see the sheen, doesn't it look lovely? One of the trickier parts to get is up in here and in there, but I think I got those coated pretty well. So again, that's the machine itself, and then we have pieces and pieces and pieces, that's the light, and the motor housing, and the wheel, plate, gear covers, grease covers, back cover, lots of little pieces. There are 201s are fabulous machines, but there are a lot of pieces, very complicated. So I'm going to give this another 10 minutes, see how everything looks, and whatever I need to come back and repaint, I can do that then. Okay, so we're going to call this good. You know, I've let enough time go by, done a little bit of touch up here and there where needed, but I think that all in all, it's turning out really nice. So I'm going to let this sit in here and dry for a few days before I move in everything. So next video we'll be putting it back together, hopefully. Once the motor housing is all dry and it's cured up nicely, then I'll carefully pack it up and ship it back to Bob Fowler, if you're not aware. He did do a video taking this little motor apart for me first, so he'll probably, hopefully, do another video putting it back together. So that will appear before my putting the entire machine back together video. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
I found an antique sewing machine, forgotten and alone. I touched her rusty wheels and knew I'd take her home. To my farm in an Amish neighborhood where simple living's valued, she'd be loved and understood. I put her on a treadle stand and coaxed her wheel to turn. I felt her joy and easing with my study and concern. I cleaned her and I oiled her, showed her off to all my friends, repaired the hurts of years, and let her sew again.